So we're getting cozy here in the Pandemonium Fortress because I want to test the Mist rune word for elemental, so a freezing arrow or exploding arrow, boson, particularly for high-end setup, so in-game configuration. I will have a budget video that I will test as well, but for now, let's focus in on this gearing. So here's the Mist, here edited, of course. A little bit off on the enhanced damage, but I don't think it's that far off that it should matter. What did I enjoy after testing and feeling out all this? Do I think it's comparable to a Faith or an ice bow? I think yes. This bow in an in-game setup makes a lot of sense because it's first off cheaper. The Cham rune is the only real high rune here, true high rune, right? So I think from that standpoint, it lets you save runes to put toward your other gear, such as Enigma, such as Infinity, to get those pieces available first. So that's a huge benefit. Another thing here is I really enjoyed the piercing attack. For this particular build, you get 100% piercing attack, by the way, from the Mist, which frees up your belt slot because you don't need a razor tail. I went Arachnid Mesh because I'm using Enigma. This made such a difference in the faster cast rate breakpoints that I was able to just teleport around for general mobility now. And I think that's huge for this particular setup. It does save a few skills in your passive tree, but what you end up having to do is because the attack rating compared to a Faith bow, remember Faith has that 300% plus the Fanaticism aura, you don't need any points in Penetrate. This build you do. You need a lot of points in Penetrate just to get it to a reasonable level, which is a downside. So even though you have a higher ED with the concentration aura, physical ED, you are able to, probably going to miss a little bit more often, so that sort of balance out. Plus you have to remove points from critical strike, so I think it sort of balances out in that sense. But your follower actually benefits more, which is pretty cool. So he's able to get a little bit more physical damage out. When boss killing, it felt a little bit better as compared to the Faith setup, but they were fairly comparable. Players 5, Diablo actually went better than I thought. I did have to drink a lot of potions for that run, so maybe still not the best application for this character, but it felt really good. The other really highly beneficial thing that I enjoyed was the all resistance here. Being able to exchange an item or charms that you have in your inventory and just swap those out is quite nice. Now, I wasn't going a Chains of Honor, so I did not swap that out. I kept my Kira's Guardian, and I swapped out the charms in my inventory for cheaper charms, so this is also something of note. Yeah, I really enjoyed the faster run walk as well, in combination with the teleport, so you could reposition your mercenary and then sort of like micro adjust your angle for your piercing shots. Felt really good. One of the bigger negatives here is the attack speed. So you're dropping a breakpoint as compared to a Faith bow setup. You're going from 7 frames down to 8 frames, or up to 8 frames. And it does feel slower. However, it's not so much slower that it feels unreasonable. It's still a pretty decent attack rate, a good attack rate. So from that sense, it's not as bad as I was thinking. Overall, a good bow. I enjoy it. Only thing I could add is maybe give it more bonus to attack rating, because I know it gets a little bit from the rune here, but maybe putting an extra mod on it, like the Faith bow, just to give it some attack rating might be nice and free up those skill points even more, so that you might be able to even get a Valkyrie or put more points into, your critical strike or whatever, right? So I think that would be a pretty cool change to see with this bow. Now, something to note with this test footage, the fire resist is on the sharkskin gloves. It isn't affecting anything with the testing. I'm just going to scroll over my other items for this particular build. One thing to note with the footage as well, I was using a Ravenfrost instead of a SOJ, so my mana pool was quite low and I was missing some DPS there. And my charm setup wasn't as good. I actually was using FHR charms and I wasn't even hitting an FHR breakpoint. Right, so just keep that in mind. And oh, also look out for the high rune drop in the testing footage. So hope you enjoy. Thank you and take care.
I can't carry anymore.